Hello student, myself Kishore N. Gujjar, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on alternating current. In our day-to-day life, we use many electrical devices like TV, radio, fridge, induction stove, etc. Here we use alternating current to operate that electrical devices. But in earlier, the only convenient source of electrical energy available was the voltaic cell. Due to the fact that cells and batteries were the only source of power available, some of the early electrical devices were designed to operate from direct current. When the use of electricity became widespread, certain disadvantages in the use of direct current become apparent. In a direct system, the supply voltage must be generated at the level required by the load, which means that if you want to operate 240 volt lamp, the generator must deliver 240 volts. A 120 volt lamp could not be operated from the generator which produces 240 volts. To operate 120 volt, a resistor could be placed in series with the 120 volt lamp to drop the extra 120 volt. But the resistor would waste the amount of power equal to that consumed by the lamp. Another basic disadvantage of direct current system is the large amount of power lost due to the resistance of the transmission wires used to carry current from generating station to the consumer. As a result of the difficulties encountered with direct current, practically all modern power distribution systems use a type of current known as alternating current. Then, what is alternating current? The current whose magnitude changes instant to instant and reverse periodically is called alternating current. An alternating current can be generated by revolving a coil in a uniform magnetic field with uniform angular velocity omega. As the coil rotates, the flux linking with the coil changes. As a result, in accordance with Faraday's law, an alternating voltage is developed. That alternating voltage is represented by the equation V is equal to V naught sine omega t. And this equation is sinusoidal function with respect to time. Here V is instantaneous value of voltage, V naught is peak value of voltage, omega is the angular frequency. When this voltage drive a current in a circuit, then the resulting current will also be alternating in character, and it is given by I is equal to I naught sine omega t, where I is instantaneous value of current. I naught is the peak value of current. Next, we will move on to types of alternating current. So in the figure, it shows that here this is the sinusoidal wave. Here the current and voltage varies periodically with respect to time. And these waves are called non-sinusoidal waves. Here the first one is the square wave. The square wave is a non-sinusoidal periodic waveform in which amplitude alternate at a steady frequency between minimum and maximum values with the same duration at minimum and maximum. The transition between minimum and maximum is instantaneous for an ideal square wave. Next one is triangular wave. Triangular wave is a non-sinusoidal waveform named for its triangular shape. It's a periodic, piecewise, linear, continuous real function. Next one is sawtooth wave. Sawtooth wave is also a non-sinusoidal wave. It is so named based on its resemblance to the teeth of a saw. The convention is that the sawtooth wave ramp upwards and then sharply drops. In a reverse sawtooth wave, the wave ramp downwards and then sharply rise. Next, mean or average value of AC. In DC, the value of voltage or current remains constant, but an alternating current or voltage changes from instant to instant, which is represented by a sine wave. The value of alternating current or voltage at any particular instant is called instantaneous value. Here I1 is instantaneous value of current at this point, I2 is instantaneous value of current at this point, I3 is instantaneous value of current at this point. Therefore, it is difficult to specifying the magnitude of current as it is not a constant value. Hence, we calculate the average value of AC. The magnitude of AC changes time to time and its direction also reverses after every half cycle, which means that the current positive in one half cycle and its negative in other half cycle. Because of this, net charge flow is 0. Therefore, we define average value of AC over a half cycle. The average value of AC over a half cycle is that value of steady current that would send the same amount of charge in same interval of time that would be sent by the DC in same time. It is also defined as the average of all instantaneous value of current or voltage taken over a half cycle is known as mean or average value of alternating current or voltage. It is denoted by I and V, known as mean or average value of alternating current or voltage, and it is represented by I is equal to I naught sin omega t and V is equal to V naught sin omega t. Here I is instantaneous value of current at a time t. I naught is peak value or maximum value. Omega is the frequency of alternating current. Next, the expression for average value or mean value. We know that the average value or mean value of AC is taken over half cycle, and it is given by I average is equal to the integration from 0 to t by 2 I dt by t by 2. So, where t is the period, then we know that I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Substitute the value of I in this equation. Here we can get I average is equal to the integration from 0 to t by 2 I naught sin omega t dt by t by 2. So this term is goes to numerator, then it's become 2 I naught by t. The integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t by omega. Then this equation becomes minus 2 I naught t omega into cos 2 pi by t, because we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f or omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So that's why in place of omega, here we can replace by 2 pi by t into t by 2 minus cos 0. Then this equation becomes minus 2 I naught by t into, we know the value of omega, 2 pi by t. Here the t get cancelled, 2 get cancelled, cos pi is minus 1, cos 0 is 1. Then this becomes 4 I naught by 2 pi. So then 2 ones are 2 twos are. The finally here we can get I average is equal to 2 I naught by pi. Therefore, the mean value of an alternating current is 2 by pi or 0.637 times the maximum value of current. Next, we will move on to RMS value of alternating current. We know that the value of alternating current or voltage is continuously changing from 0 up to the positive peak, through 0 to the negative peak and back to 0 again. The RMS value is the effective value of varying voltage and current. When we calculate the average value of AC over complete cycle, the net value of current or voltage is 0. That's why in order to evaluate an alternating parameters in quantity, we use root mean square value of AC. It is the square root of average value of the square of alternating quantity over a time period. We know that the alternating current is represented by the equation I is equal to I naught sin omega t. When we square the AC, it's become I square I naught square sin square omega t. Then average it, then it's become I square average is equal to I naught square by 2. Now take the square root of the above equation. It gives RMS value of AC. That is IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2. In order to understand RMS value of alternating current, let us consider two simple circuits. One is connected with AC source along with the resistor R. The another circuit which consists of DC source connected with the resistor R. Here both the resistor having the same value. When considering an alternating circuit driven by a periodic source, we consider effective current to be the amount of DC current that deliver the same amount of power to a resistor as the average power delivered by the periodic current to a resistor of the same value. Or it is also defined as the value of steady current which when passed through a resistor in a given time will generate the same amount of heat generated by alternating current when passed through the same resistor for same time. The RMS value is also called effective value of an AC and is denoted by IRMS for current, VRMS for voltage. Heat produced in a time dt is given by I square into dt, where T is the time period of alternating current. If IRMS is root mean square value of alternating current, then it will produce the same heating effect in a resistance of 1 ohm in T second. Then that expression becomes I square RMS into T is equal to integration from 0 to T, because here we can calculate the effective value or RMS value over complete cycle. So that's why we integrate the term from 0 to T, I naught square sin square omega T into dt. Here the sin square omega T into dt, it can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega T by 2. Or this expression can be written as I naught square by 2 integration from 0 to T into dt minus integration from 0 to T cos 2 omega T into dt. When we integrate this term, finally we can get 0. Therefore, this expression becomes I square RMS T is equal to I naught square T by 2. Here T get cancelled. Therefore, IRMS T is equal to I naught by root 2, or that is equal to 0.707 times the I naught. Hence, the root mean square value of the current is 0.707 or 1 by root 2 times the maximum value of current. Thank you.